Yes. Jai Hind and hello everyone. Welcome back to Crack Grade B. This is Sunil Jangad and we were discussing Adverb, right? It's third day if you talk about Adverb chapter. So it's third lecture in Adverb and today we shall cover some of the practice questions and their concepts, right? So I hope both audio and video are clear and kindly share this session with all your friends, invite them all. It's going to be very special session today and we shall cover some of the finest concepts regarding this chapter Adverb, right? So in last lecture we have covered some of the 38 sentences. Yes, we have discussed all these 38 questions. So now you have a sentence: although he is usually rude with everyone, he behaved nice with all of us today. Yes. What do you think of this sentence? We are discussing Adverb, as I said, and this chapter we shall cover some of the rest sentences today. So, although he is usually rude with everyone, he behaved nice with all of us today. Okay, in this sentence, this is verb. Behaved is a verb, and as we know, it is quite obvious for us कि to qualify a verb we don't use an adjective, we use adverb, right? So adverb will be nicely. Nicely, this adverb will be used in place of nice. Reason behind, the definition of adverb. Adverb is a word which qualifies a verb, an adjective and another adverb. So we have to work according to the definition, and to qualify a verb we require an adverb. That's why replace nice with nicely. Okay, next sentence you have: he ran so fastly that he reached the destination in just 2 minutes. Okay, this is also a good sentence. You have a word fastly. Make it sure word fast. If you talk about word fast, and apart word fast is adjective as well as adverb. This word is adjective as well as adverb, right? And make it sure we don't have a word fastly in entire English. If you talk about entire English, you don't have a word fastly. Word fast is adjective as well as adverb. For example, if I say a fast bowler, a fast bowler bowls fast, right? You have a sentence: a fast bowler bowls fast. Okay, in this sentence we know it very well. This bowls is a verb, and before verb you have a noun, you have a subject bowler, right? Name of a person. And this fast, to qualify a noun, this fast is an adjective in part of speech, adjective in nature, and this article is used for singular noun bowler. And same, if you talk about, again you have a word fast. This word fast, to qualify a verb, this word fast is an adverb, right? So the concept is what? Key word fast is adjective, word fast is adjective as well as adverb, and that's why we don't have a word fastly. So whenever you get a word fastly, drop that particular word. Reason behind, you don't have a word like fastly in entire English, and we know it very well. To qualify a verb we need an adverb, and that adverb will be what? Fast. Sentence will be like: he ran so fast that he reached the destination in just 2 minutes. So part A has an error, right? You have an error in part A. Move to the next sentence. In spite of toiling very hardly, he realized that he had not earned anything substantial. The meaning of substantial is something that is necessary. Okay. In spite of toiling very hardly, very hard you have to use. You have two different words. One is hardly and second one is hard. And you know the difference between the meaning of both the words. Word hardly denotes the sense of almost nothing, right? And word hard is also an adverb that is used to show the sense of with all efforts, yep, or you can say with great efforts. So in this sentence you want to show the sense of with great efforts, so that's why use adverb hard, not hardly. Drop ly suffix, right? So sentence will be like, in spite of toiling very hard, he realized that he had not earned anything substantial. Okay, move to the next sentence, and the next sentence is, we were very much carefully in our approach and hence we would complete the complicated task. Okay, you know this sentence, this were is the form of be base verb, and this be base verb is a linking verb, and linking verbs are followed by a complement, and this complement must be adjective, right? So in place of adverb carefully use an adjective careful, right? And this word very much, this is an adverb, and adverb qualifies an adjective, right? So sentence will be like, we were very much careful in our approach. By doing this you have an error in part B. Part B has an error. Okay, move to the next sentence. She was so emotional stable that she was not moved by their decision to suspend her. Okay, this is also a good sentence. This is the linking verb, right? Linking verbs are followed by a complement. This is stable, right? This is adjective, and adjectives are qualified by an adverb. So this word must be adverb, right? This word must be adverb. So to make it adverb, say emotionally, use emotionally, and make it sure this adverb so will be used before an adjective. This adverb will be used before an adjective. So sentence will be like, she was emotionally, she was emotionally so stable. Sentence will be like this, she was emotionally so stable that she was not moved by their decision to suspend her. So by doing this you have an error in part A. Part A has an error, right? So initially you have to use adverb emotionally, and after that so adverb, and after that you have to use a complement subject, right? Oh, sorry, adjective. So part A has an error. Next sentence, this machine looks good but it is very badly designed and does not work good. Okay, you know in this sentence, this you have a verb look, and again you have a verb, second verb is work, and if you just compare both the verbs you will find कि verb look is a linking verb, it is a linking verb, and work is an action verb. I told you some of the linking verbs in last lectures. Linking verbs are like feel, smell, look, taste, appear, seem, sound, keep, reach, prove, remain, stay, become, and be. These are the linking verbs. So we know it very well. Linking verbs are followed by an adjective. Linking verbs are followed by an adjective, and you already have an adjective good, but action verbs are followed by an adverb. Action verbs are followed by adverb. So replace this adjective with adverb, and adverb will be what? Well. Sentence will be like, this machine looks good but it is very badly designed and does not work well. And by doing this you have an error in part C. Part C has an error, right? So move to the next sentence. Vikas has been writing that essay for 2 hours but he still has not finished. Okay, in this sentence, you know the tense, if you talk about, this is the helping verb, this is the main verb, third form of the verb, main verb, and you have a adverb of negation not. So present perfect tense you have in the sentence, and the sentence is negative. So we know it very well, whenever it comes to present perfect tense and negative sentence, if you just use in that particular situation, we don't use an adverb like still. Still is mainly used whether in continuous tense, present continuous, or you can say in indefinite tense. Still is used in both continuous and in indefinite tense, present continuous, present indefinite. But here you have a sentence in present perfect tense, and in present perfect tense we use an adverb, that is yet, right? So if you just want to make this sentence okay, replace this adverb with yet, and yet adverb will be used after the main verb. Here you have to use an adverb yet. So sentence will be like, Vikas has been writing that essay for 2 hours, but he has not finished yet. But he has not finished it yet. After verb, object it yet, right? So by doing this, you have an error in part C. C has an error. Okay, all of them work very carefully. Now we know it very well. To qualify a verb, we need an adverb. So to make this adjective adverb, use carefully, right? Word carefully will be there. So sentence will be like, all of them work very carefully right from the beginning till they finish. Are you getting my point? Yes, move to the next sentence. And you have, he has been working with me for the last 10 years, but I cannot claim that I have understood him thorough. Okay, you know this verb, again this verb thorough, understand is a verb, and to qualify this verb we need an adverb. So adverb is what? Thoroughly. Thoroughly adverb will be used, and you have an error in part C, right? Part C has an error. Next sentence is, he was looking impatient at the unwanted visitors who showed no signs of leaving the room. Yes. Here again, this look, here now, this is not a stative verb. Here it is action verb, you can say. This is action verb, right? And action verbs are followed by adverb, not an adjective. Word impatient is adjective, but we require adverb over here, so that's why use impatiently. Sentence will be fine now. He was looking impatiently at the unwanted visitors who showed no signs of leaving the room, right? So by doing this, you can find the sentence okay. And in this particular sentence, you have an error in part A. Okay, next sentence is before you. The old man continued living a hard life, but never he asked for any help from the neighbors. This is one of the finest sentence you can say. It is very good sentence. It is a very good sentence. So the old man continued living a hard life, but never he asked for. Okay, you know this word but is a conjunction, right? And before this conjunction you have a clause. I think you know it very well. Clause is, you can say, the combination of subject and predicate. Subject and verb, you can also say. Subject and predicate, what they make? They make clause, right? So before this conjunction, you have a complete clause. After that particular conjunction, you have another clause, right? You have subject, predicate. But in the beginning of the second clause, you have an adverb, and that adverb is never, right? And make it sure we have some adverbs. If a sentence starts with such adverbs, then we always maintain inversion in that particular sentence, right? I said if a sentence starts with with any of the adverbs. What are the adverbs? Hardly, scarcely, rarely, barely, no sooner, not so, never, seldom, in no case, right? Neither. These are the adverbs. If a sentence starts with any of these adverbs, we use inversion in that particular sentence. So if you just want to make, if you want to use inversion in this particular sentence, you need a helping verb, and make it sure to just find a helping verb. You have to focus on its main verb. This is the main verb, second form of the verb. It means we are talking in past tense, past time. So we know it very well. In past time, we have a helping verb did, right? So use helping verb did. After that, subject you have, and make it sure this helping verb did always demand first form of the verb, and that first form will be what? Ask. So by doing this you will find the sentence okay, and you have an error in part B. So let us take some more examples basis on this particular concept. If I say sentences, hardly he had reached there, hardly he had reached there when it started raining. Hardly he had reached there when it started raining. Okay, you know, in this sentence we know it very well, this word hardly is an adverb, right? And this adverb hardly demands a conjunction, and that must be a conjunction when or before. So already you have a conjunction when, but now make it sure, as I said, if a sentence starts with any of these adverbs, hardly is also one out of those adverbs. If a sentence starts with such adverbs, so this adverb demand inversion, and inversion, as I said, after this particular adverb you have to use helping verb. This is the helping verb had, reached is the third form of the verb main verb, this he is the subject. So by using this helping verb after this adverb, or you can say before the subject, before subject, if you use this helping verb, by doing this you can maintain inversion. Hardly, this is the adverb, after that this is helping verb had, subject main verb, this is called inversion, this is called inverted form or interrogative form. So if you speak like hardly had he reached there when it started raining, you can find the sentence okay. And so some more examples you can take. Okay, let us discuss this concept thoroughly. If I say a sentence, you have no sooner the peon rang the bell then all the students came on the ground. Okay, you have a sentence, no sooner the peon rang the bell then all the students came on the ground for prayer. Okay, in this sentence we know it very well, this word no sooner is an adverb in nature, and this no sooner demands a conjunction, that is then, right? THAN. No sooner demands then. So we know it very well, this adverb demands an inversion. So what is inversion? As I said, if sentence starts with some of the adverbs, then you have to maintain inversion interrogative form, mean to say you have to use helping verb after this adverb. After that you have to use a subject, right? Subject is followed by main verb, right? Main verb, and after that you have to use object. So this is inversion actually. After adverb you have to use helping verb, subject, main verb, object in last. This is called what? This is called inversion. This is called inverted form. This is called interrogative form. Right? If a sentence starts with adverb, this inversion is mandatory. Okay, so if you apply it in the sentence, you know this word peon is the subject, and this is the second form of the verb main verb. Second form of a verb ring, right? So we know it very well. After this adverb, we demand a helping verb, but you don't have a helping verb in the sentence. So now make it sure whenever you get second form of the verb, main verb, make it sure second form is always is equal to did plus v1. This did becomes helping verb and this first form is main verb, you can say. Second form is always is equal to what? Did plus v1. If you find first form of the verb, first form is always equal to do plus v1. If you find first form plus s or es, it is always equal to what? Does plus v1. So if you want to maintain inversion, you have to use a helping verb. Helping verb will be did, and did always demands first form of the verb. If you speak like no sooner did the peon ring, no sooner did the peon ring the bell than all the students came on the ground for prayer. If you speak like this, sentence will be okay now. Are you getting my point? So if you take some more examples, if I say, if I take another example, I have never been to America. I have never been to America, and neither my brother has. I have never been to America and neither my brother has. Okay, let us understand this sentence. You know, in this sentence, in the beginning of this sentence, you have a subject, right? You have a subject, and after this subject, you have a predicate. I have never been to America. This is the conjunction, and is a conjunction. Before this conjunction, you have a subject and predicate. You have first clause. This is the first clause, and after that, conjunction, this is the subject, and predicate, this is the second clause. So in the beginning of the first clause, you have a subject, right? You don't have an adverb, but in the beginning of second clause, you have an adverb, and this adverb is what? Neither. And this adverb is also one of those adverbs which demand an inversion. So if this adverb demands an inversion, so this is the subject and this has is the helping verb. So to maintain inversion, what we can do, we use this helping verb has before subject and after main verb. If you use helping verb before the subject and after the adverb neither, now you will be able to maintain inversion in the sentence, and sentence will be okay now, right? So what can we say? I have never been to America and neither has my brother. Neither has my brother, right? Sentence will be fine now. Okay, let us take some more examples. And the sentence is, if I say, sentence is, so sweetly he sings that. So sweetly he sings that everyone likes it. Everyone likes it. Okay, in this sentence, you have an adverb, so sweetly. This is the adverb, and this adverb so also demands inversion, and if you want to maintain inversion, you need a helping verb, and to find helping verb, you have to focus on the main verb. You are getting first form plus s or es, and this first form plus s or es is equal to does plus v1. So now you will be able to find helping verb. Helping verb does will be there, but this helping verb does, this is the subject, it demands first form of the verb. You have to use sing. So sweetly does he sing that everyone likes it. But make it sure, if I speak this sentence, if you have a sentence like this, he sings so sweetly, he sings so sweetly that everyone likes it, right? If you have a sentence like this, in this sentence you have a subject, in this sentence, in the beginning of the sentence you have a subject, and whenever a sentence starts with a subject, then you don't need to use any inversion, right? Inversion is used only if a sentence starts with any of such adverbs. And what are the adverbs? If you just want to know what are the adverbs, adverbs like no sooner, no sooner, hardly, scarcely, rarely, barely, not, so, never, in no case, seldom, and neither. These are the adverbs, right? These are the adverbs which demand an inversion, right? So all the sentences you have, if a sentence starts with adverb like no sooner, so sweetly, so, and before you have a sentence, if a sentence starts with neither, or you can say hardly, right? So you have to maintain inversion. So same thing, if you just if you talk about this sentence, never is also, never is also one out of those adverbs. Never is also one out of them, right, which demand inversion. So move to the next sentence now. Some people get used to change very easily than others. Yes. Okay, here we have a comparison between two different groups of people, right? The comparison is between two different groups of people. And what are two different groups? Like some people, and they are compared with others, right? And the comparison is not between the people, the comparison is between their action. The comparison is between, the comparison is of between two different actions. Some people get used to change very easily. So whenever you have comparison between two, the comparison of actions between two different groups, in that case we use adverb, but that adverb must be of comparative degree, right? This is the concept. So to make this adverb comparative degree, use more easily. Sentence will be like, some people get used to change more easily than others. Sentence will be fine now. And you have an error in part D. Part C, in part C you have an error. Okay, move to the next sentence. The next sentence is, watch how carefully. We know it very well. This how, to qualify a verb we need an adverb, right? So this, to make this word adverb, speak like watch how carefully. And this is also an adverb, you can say, which is interrogative or relative adverb, which qualifies another adverb. So sentence, in this sentence you have an error in part A. Watch how carefully the sparrow knits and straws into one another to form a nest. Okay, people invent new machines when they think independently, right? This is a verb, and to qualify a verb we need an adverb, not an adjective. This word independent is an adjective, we require an adverb, so that's why use independently. Part D has an error. Okay, you have an error in part D. Before TV, the common man seldom or ever had the opportunity to see and hear leaders express their views. Okay, if you just imagine this sentence, na, you will find ki there is something, the sentence is something in negative sense. How it is in negative? It is said before TV. So before TV, the common man seldom or ever had the opportunity to see, means it barely happens before the TV. After TV, it becomes possible that we can see or watch our leaders talking with one another, right? After TV, it became possible, right? So before TV, the common man's, in negative sense, if you just talk about, in negative sense we are talking, so seldom, sentence will be like seldom or never, seldom or never. You have two different words. Seldom if ever, it is used in positive sense. Seldom if ever, it is used in positive sense, right? Seldom or never in negative sense. So before TV, it was not possible that people can see and watch their favorite leaders face to face. It was not possible. After TV, it became possible, right? So that's why in negative sense you have to use word like seldom or never, right? In such sentences we have to focus ki, in which sense the writer is expressing everything, right? So you have to just pay attention to the tone of that particular sentence, or you can say sense of that particular sentence. You have to focus on that. After that you will be able to just reply the sentence. Okay, next one is the purpose of the United Nations, broad speaking, is to maintain peace and security and to encourage respect for human rights. Okay, you have a phrase, and that phrase is broadly speaking. Some of adverbs we have, which can qualify the entire sentence. And what are such adverbs like? If we say frankly speaking, or honestly speaking, or broadly speaking, these are such adverbs, right, which can qualify the entire sentence. So if you just want to focus on this sentence, this is the same sentence, so this adverb must be what? Broadly speaking. The sentence must be broadly speaking, right? The purpose of the United Nations, broadly speaking, is to maintain peace and security and to encourage respect for human rights. By doing this, you will find an error in part B. Part B has an error. Okay, move to the next sentence. She sings very sweet. To qualify a verb, we need an adverb, right? And word adverb is what? Sweetly, right? Sweetly will be adverb. Part B has an error. Okay, he watched me like a cat watches a mouse. Okay, this is also one of the nicest sentence. Yes, can you answer please? uh, can you answer this sentence? He watched me like a cat, like a cat watches a mouse. Yes. Okay, you have a subject, and word he is a subject. Watched me, this is the predicate, and subject and predicate you have clause first, right? And this a cat is subject, watches a mouse, this is predicate, this is clause 2. And as we know, to connect two different clauses we need a conjunction, but make it sure this word like is either preposition or verb. Either preposition or verb. Word like has two different parts of speech. Word like is whether a verb or a preposition. Word like is never a conjunction, but here in this sentence, to connect two different clauses we require a conjunction, and that conjunction must be what? As. Use as in place of like. This word as is a conjunction. By doing this, you will find an error in part B. Sentence will be like, he watched me as a cat watches a mouse, right? Part B has an error. Next sentence is, before giving her final consent, she carefully thought over the matter. Yes. Before giving her final consent, she carefully thought over the matter. Yes. Okay. In this sentence, we know it very well. This thought is a verb, right? And this carefully is an adverb of manner, right? This is adverb of manner. And as I said, adverbs of manner are used either after an object or after the main verb. If you find a verb transitive, transitive verbs are followed by an object, and adverbs of manner are followed by that particular object if verb is transitive. But if verb is intransitive means you don't have any object. So in that particular situation, you have to use an adverb of manner after the main verb. If verb is intransitive, we use adverb of manner after main verb, and if verb is transitive, we use adverb of manner after the object, right? So in this sentence, we know it very well. This over is a preposition, and preposition is followed by prepositional object. After preposition, we find a prepositional object, right? So this is prepositional object, so it means you don't have an object after this verb. So verb is what? Verb is intransitive, and whenever verb is intransitive, this adverb of manner is used after the main verb. So you have to use carefully after the main verb. Sentence will be like, before giving her final consent, she thought carefully over the matter. And now you will have an error in part B. Are you getting my point? Yes. You have an error in part B. Before giving her final consent, she thought carefully over the matter. Okay? That is okay to say. That is okay to say she thought carefully over the matter. Right? Move to the next sentence. It is much called in Delhi these days. Okay. This word called is an adjective of positive degree, right? And as we know, adjectives of positive degree are qualified by an adverb, and that adverb must be very in place of much. In place of much, very will be used. I told you the difference between both the adverbs, very and much. So what is the difference? Very is used before adjectives of positive degree, right? Very is used before adjectives of positive degree, and word much is used before adjectives of comparative degree, right? In this sentence, you have a word, and that word called is an adjective of positive degree. Before them, we use adverb like very, and before adjectives of comparative, we use adverb much. For example, if you say sentence, if I talk, just a minute. Okay, if I say Ritik is a blank wise person. Okay, Ritik is a blank wise person. Okay, next sentence is, if I say Ritik is blank wiser than Rohan. Two different sentences you have, and in both the sentences we know it well that here in the second sentence you have a person Ritik, second one is Rohan. There is comparison between two. Whenever you have a comparison between two, we use an adjective of comparative degree, conjunction of comparison then. But before this adjective of comparative degree, we use an adverb, and that adverb must be much. Sentence will be like, Ritik is much wiser than Rohan. But in the first sentence, we are talking about one person. This is a noun. Before noun, we use an adjective of positive degree, and to qualify the adjective of positive degree, we need an adverb, and that adverb must be what? Very. So same thing is available in this particular sentence. This called is adjective of positive degree. Before it, we have to use very, not much. Sentence will be fine, and you have an error in part A. You have an error in part A. Okay, move to the next sentence. The manager went there to personally examine the situation. Yes, what do you think of this sentence? This is also a good sentence. Yes. What do you think of this sentence? How can you improve the sentence? I'm waiting for your reply. This 10th question. How can you improve this sentence? I'm waiting for your reply. Went there personally. Very nice. Okay. In this sentence, we know it very well. The manager went there to personally examine the situation. Right? Okay. You know, here you have an adverb personally. This is adverb of manner. Right? So you whenever you talk about the situation, the position of adverbs of manner, I said कि whenever what can be the right position of adverbs of manner. I said if verb is transitive, right, you have to focus on the verb can be transitive or intransitive, right? You have to focus on the verb and make it sure. If the verb is transitive, transitive verbs are followed by object. After transitive verbs you have to use an object, right? And after this object you have to use adverb of manner, right? We use adverb of manner after object if you have any. Okay, but if verb is intransitive, so intransitive verbs are never followed by any object, right? Intransitive verbs don't have any object. So if verb is intransitive, we use adverb of manner after intransitive verbs. If verb is intransitive, we use adverb of manner after the main verb, right? So you have to focus on this particular thing. So here, to personally examine, this is the verb, examine is the verb, and this is the transitive verb. This is transitive verb. How it is transitive? Examine what we are talking about, what we are uh, what do we examine? What do we examine in this sentence? We examine the situation. So you have an object, verb is transitive, and if you have a transitive verb, if you have object, adverb of manner is used after the object. So use this word adverb of manner personally after this object. Here word personally will be there, will be used, right? If you speak like this, if you write like this, sentence will be fine now. And you have an error in part C. Sentence is the manager went there to examine the situation personally, right? Went there personally is not right to say. Went there personally is not right to say. Okay, so next sentence is Smita looks beautiful. Beautiful. Word look is a linking verb. We know it very well. This is the linking verb, and linking verbs are followed by an adjective, and this adjective must be beautiful, not beautifully. And by doing this you have an error in part B. Part B has an error. Okay, next sentence. At the beginning of the exercise sessions, I hardly knew that I was not working out properly. Yes, this is also a good sentence. What do you think? How can you improve this sentence? Question 12th. I'm waiting for your reply. How can you improve this sentence? Yes, at the beginning of the exercise sessions, I hardly knew that I was not working out properly. Okay, let us discuss. You know, we have two different phrases. Two different phrases are what? We have a phrase at the beginning, right? At the beginning we have a phrase, and the second phrase is what? Second phrase is in the beginning. Two different phrases we have. And what is the meaning of both the phrases? This word in the beginning shows the sense of initially. It shows the sense of initially, right? And at the beginning, it shows the sense of at first point. Preposition at is preposition of place as a point. It shows the sense of at first point, and in the beginning this phrase shows the sense of initially, right? So if you know the difference between both the phrases, in the beginning, at the beginning, then sentence will be fine. Then you can just answer the sentence, okay? And if you just observe the sentence, it is said at the beginning of the exercise. So beginning of what? Exercise. At the beginning. At the beginning means at the first point of the exercise. At the first point of the exercise. But it is not talking about k at the first point of the exercise. Actually, if you just go through the sense, or if you just try to understand the actual sense of the sentence, it is said initially of the exercise session, means at the first, means you can say in beginning, in the beginning of, or initially, initially of the exercise sessions, not at the first point. There is no any point of exercise sessions, you can say initially or initially. And another phrases we also have, we have at the last, at the last, and in the last, right? At the last, it shows the sense of finally, right? Finally, sorry, at first point. At the last means at last point, at last point, and in the last means finally, right? So if you just observe this sentence, we are not talking about place as a point, we are not talking about point, we are talking about time, initial time we are talking about. That's why phrase will be like what? In the beginning of the session, not at the beginning of the session. In the beginning of the session, exercise sessions, I hardly knew that, I was not working out properly. Sentence will be fine now, okay? ये different phrases हैं जिसके मीनिंग को आप क्लियर करते हैं. मीनिंग को जब आप अंडरस्टैंड कर लेते हैं तो ही आप फिर इसको एक्यूरेटली रिप्लाई कर पाते हैं, राइट? एट द बिगिनिंग और इन द बिगिनिंग, राइट? एट द लास्ट और इन द लास्ट, right? Next sentence, she is looking gorgeously in the jet black dress. Okay, here verb looking is a action verb, not this look is linking verb, right? And linking verbs are followed by an adjective, not an adverb. So sentence will be like, she is looking gorgeous in the jet black dress. Okay, I will come to that query later. Okay, this word later, you know, you have two different words like later, latter, okay, and some other words like latest and last. You have different four words, and all these, both the words are adjectives of comparative degree. These are adjectives of comparative degree, and these two words are adjectives of superlative degree. And all these four adjectives come from a verb, an adjective late, right? This is the comparative of late, later, latter, latest, or last. What is the meaning of later? This word later shows the sense of afterwards, afterwards, right? And it denotes time, it denotes time. And the meaning of latter, it means second of the two, second of the two, right? And it denotes position, not time, second of the two. This word latest show the sense of recent, it shows time, not position. And this last shows the sense of final, and this word final shows position, not time, right? Okay, if you apply it in the sentence, I will come to that query later. This latter shows the sense of second of the two, but here we are talking about time. So to denote time, we don't need latter, we need later. So if you just change it with later, now sentence will be fine. This is adjective. Now sentence is okay, and you have an error in part D. Part D has an error. Yes, it is right to say later. Next sentence is, he has become so weak that even a 2 furlongs walk makes him breathless. Yes. What do you think of this sentence? Okay, this is the concept of number. This is the concept of number, and because of this numeral adjective, because of this numeral adjective, it must be like furlongs, right? It must be plural noun, and make it sure whenever you show possession of a plural noun to others, right? When the possession of a plural noun is on other noun, then make it sure we only use apostrophe. We only use apostrophe, we don't use apostrophe. After apostrophe, we don't use s. Like if I say, for examples, if I say students boys hostel, right? If I say girls college, students rights, farmers protest. These are some examples of plural noun, right? And you know it very well. In all the examples, these are plural noun, right? This is plural noun, whether you talk about boys, girls, or students, or farmers. And you have possession. A possession of plural noun is on what? On hostel, college, rights, or protest. So whenever you talk about plural noun, to show possession of plural noun on other, we always use apostrophe. That's it. Don't use a s after this apostrophe. So sentence will be like boys hostel, girls college, students rights, farmers protests. It will be the right one. So if you apply it in the sentence, because of this numeral adjective too, you have to make this noun plural furlongs, right? And whenever you have a plural noun, we only use apostrophe, not s. And by doing this, you have an error in part C. Move to the next sentence. He never visited us, uh, though he lived at a stone's throw. At a stone's throw away. We have an idiom. You have a idiom. This is idiom, right? That means near. It means, it shows the sense of near or at a short distance. At a short distance. So make it sure this phrase never demands a preposition away. Never say at a stone's throw away. Sentence must be like at a stone's throw from my house, and by doing this you have an error in part C. Part C has an error. Between a servile existence and an honorable death, the brave have often preferred the later. Same thing, we are talking about second of the two. This word later shows the sense of afterwards, but as per requirement, there is no need to use this word later. We use word latter, right? And it shows the sense of second of the two. Second of the two. Between both the things, servile and existence, and honorable death. This one, we are talking about this, right? This is preferable, right? So sentence is fine now. This is adjective, clever is adjective, enough is adverb, and as I said, enough is the only adverb that is used after adjective of positive degree. Enough is the only adverb that is used after adjective of positive degree. Sentence will be like she is clever enough, right? I was nothing else than. This else demands but, not then. I was nothing else but his high handedness that ruined him. And you have an error in part B. Okay. So I think it's enough from my side. And this is chapter adverb. We have completed, we have covered most of the concepts and their practice questions. In next class, we shall cover one of the most important chapter, that is determiners, right? Determiners is very important, very important chapter for your exam point of view. No matter which exam you are preparing for, it is very important chapter. So let us meet tomorrow at 4 p.m. and keep sharing such sessions with all your friends. Invite them all. Subscribe Grade B, right? Now I think it's enough from my side. I keep my finger crossed for you, right? So take care. Goodbye. Love you all. Thank you. Thank you very much.